Well, as you can tell by some differences in our video for today, like the microphone being here and not in my hands, and the fact that the intro played before I've said anything. That's because today is going to be a rant video. Haven't done one of those in a while, so let's see if I still got it. So, if you've been on any part of the internet as of late, you've been seeing a lot of discourse with some Disney properties. I know you have, because I can't get anywhere without seeing it. I've been playing Disney Dreamlight Valley for the last few days since it dropped on Xbox Game Pass, and I've been having a good time. I've honestly been pouring too many hours into that game because it's a sim, it's Animal Crossing, and it's Disney. It got the things that got Brandon wanted, and I'm in it. And please update the game sometime soon, because I need more content already. But while I've been having a good time with a Disney property, a lot of people have been having a bad time with some decisions that Disney have been making, and that's why we're here today. We're going to start off with the one that upsets me the least, and that's She-Hulk. Now, I'm a big Marvel guy. When I started reading comics, when I started doing anything with comic book heroes, it was always a Marvel property. Like I have a stack over here hidden of Marvel comics. There's no DC to be found. So when it comes to anything MCU, I'm here for it. And I know some other people that are like that, and I know some people that are the opposite. But whenever I see anything that's put on the screen or the small screen that has the Marvel branding to it, that's not made by Sony, I'm here for it. I'm hyped. Even the Fox days when we had X-Men over there and Fantastic Four, I was here for it because my brain always takes it. And I know it may be hard for some other people, and that's not me being an asshole. That's like I just know that it may be hard for some other people to disassociate to some degree that these are not going to be a one-for-one adaptation of the books. It's not. It's never going to be that way. If it is, actually no, I'll correct that. There's more so of a chance now, given the fact that Disney has all the characters that they could possibly need to fulfill a lot of the storylines. We could have one-for-one adaptations of what we read in the books. But even then, you can't do that given the way the MCU has been so far. Yeah, we can do the whole different universe thing. We're already in the midst of doing that. But to some degree, they're not going to shift what they're going to do completely to do one-for-one adaptations. It would be nice, never going to happen. And my brain always takes it that way. I always take it as some sort of fan fiction by these corporations or by this corporation that is making these movies for the fanboys like me. And it's cool and all. It's cool to have a differing opinion. I'm not knocking anybody on that. But the way we fight about these things, it is the most childish thing. Like, I get involved too. I'm talking about myself in this situation. I'm constantly in fights on the internet about wrestling in the MCU and music in general. It just happens. We're pulled to it. But with She-Hulk, why is it so hard to understand? And again, I'm not trying to be an asshole with that. Why is it so hard to understand? Maybe this show's just not for you. Now, a lot of people's arguments are that it's bad writing. Okay. But when we get pissed about things like a post-credit scene of She-Hulk and Megan Thee Stallion twerking, y'all not upset about Megan being in the episode. I have not seen anybody go, why the fuck was she in the episode? Because her small appearance and her name being in the episode worked for the episode's story. The post-credit scene was a post-credit scene. They're not always meant to mean something in the great scheme of the MCU, as we've seen in other examples with the TV shows in general. I don't understand why a post-credit scene was that much of an issue to people. Because you fast forward a couple episodes, there hasn't been anything major that people have pointed out other than the twerking in the post-credit scene. Nothing else has been pointed out. Oh, I'm sorry. They're emasculating Hulk because he's soft. He's not as smashy as he was in the comics. He's not as smashy as he was before. They're taking away what makes him him. Okay. I see your argument. I understand your argument. I feel your argument. But our Hulk in the MCU is a combination of the different Hulks in the comics, not just one particular Hulk So maybe they took some kind of liberties with his character. And even then, yes, you can say it's soft, but living in the world that we're in today, the toxic masculinity of the Hulk's character should be toned down so you don't have any kind of issues, any kind of outcry from anybody because, oh, the Hulk is this. And then we'd be pissed about that. They changed the character in a way that isn't emasculating him. He's still Hulk. A lot of the complaints about MCU stuff kind of grew when we got to the point of Miss Marvel. I'm not taking that back. I'm not changing what I said. You can go ahead and say, like, oh, we were upset about Infinity War and everything else. Yeah, there were problems there, but those are plot hole problems a lot of people had issues with, which there's plot hole problems in everything in the MCU. So they're going to fill them in at some point. They've been filling them in for the last few years. It doesn't make it, the best practice when you're making a film, but they're retconning mistakes that they have made. Let them do what they're doing. Give them the time to give us these movies because we have movies slated for the next 4 years right now, not knowing what they have planned past that. So let them plan out what they have planned out. But it seems as though a lot of the issues started to pile in on the internet with Miss Marvel because we're in that age where everything is, oh, the society is so soft now. Oh, society wants to be given this. They want to be given that. These people want this. These people want that. And it's like, fuck yeah, we do. Because everyone deserves basic fucking rights. And that's coming from me, a black man. Everyone deserves their basic rights, whether you're black, white. Joke. I'm not one of those racist black people. We can be racist. I said it. I'm not black, white, Hispanic, Asian, gay, straight. No matter what you are, you deserve basic fucking rights. So to say that society has gotten soft, no, we're evolving because that's what we're supposed to do. Every generation brings change. Your generation brought change. Shit, if you're in my generation, bitch, we brought some kind of change over our lifespan. What are you doing? What are you talking about? What do you mean we're soft? We're fucking humans. How about, deal with problems like a person should deal with their problems and not live in a time period where you weren't allowed to deal with your problems. Guess what? We're in a time period where you can. But back on topic, the issue started to roll in with these female-led Marvel shows. Now, you can say WandaVision, but y'all all of a sudden throwing in WandaVision now. I've seen some of you. Don't say y'all don't exist. Don't say they don't exist. I've seen some of you. Everyone found I'm not gonna say everyone. People found an issue one way or another, which, yes, that's how it's going to be. But then we get to Miss Marvel. Oh, it's too Disney. It is Disney. The fuck you mean? How else are you going to make a Miss Marvel TV show without Disneyfying it in some fashion? Because guess what? You're not always the demographic that they're trying to get for that piece of the puzzle. You may want to watch it because, you're here for all the MCU stuff. You're here for all what connects everything together and what's leading to what. But guess what? Sometimes you're not the demographic. So maybe just move the fuck on. Say you don't like it, keep it pushing. I don't like it, this, that, and the other aspect of it. But you know what? That'll be too easy. I gotta be a snarky asshole about my opinion. But then that leads me into how The Boys has been put against every single Marvel TV show over the last year or so. Because it's a much better show. They show us this. They give us the violence. They give us the blood. And as a person that's always here for that type of shit, at the end of the day, that's not what all of these properties are going to be. That's not what all of these properties are. It's always been the fucking stereotype that DC is the dark, gritty shit. Why are we complaining about Marvel not being dark and gritty? We had Moon Knight. Moon Knight was good. That was something that was a different type of media for them. But alas, why is Miss Marvel too fucking pandering to kids? What is with Disney's woke agenda with She-Hulk? Why is it that representation can't happen in media without somebody bitching about that representation happening in media? Which, let's segue into Little Mermaid, because that has some connections to this that I haven't even spoke on yet, that I want to speak on. So Little Mermaid is getting a live action adaptation, starring, why am I going to blame, Haley, me, picture of the beautiful, her. So she's playing Ariel, our lead character. But there's something amiss. Ariel wasn't that. Ariel's not. She's something's not right about this skin pigment here. And I want to grasp it. Because honestly, the reason for me making this video is to get all of this out so I feel as though I don't need to type anything anymore. At the end of the day, what I say and what you say does not fucking matter. They're making the movie regardless. They're going to do what they want to fucking do regardless. Because at the end of the day, we're not always the demographic they're aiming for. Yes, we grew up with The Little Mermaid. The different generations grew up with The Little Mermaid because Disney had the practice of releasing their movies over and over and over to make sure every new child was able to see it in a new format and new updated graphics. Because that's their practice. That's what they need to do because they got to cater to each new generation as each new generation to keep making their money. So the Little Mermaid movie, we get some black representation and the world loses its shit over a fictional character being changed to a different race. Now, a lot of people want to throw in, well, what if they made Black Panther? What if T'Challa was white? Y'all have so many examples, first of all, where y'all have whitewashed characters that are supposed to be the race that they are supposed to fucking be for the sake of the story. Ariel does not need to be white for the sake of her story. But y'all go with the one example where they need to be black. You can't just make T'Challa white and think that's gonna work because that wasn't why Stan Lee made the fucking character. That's just not why they made the fucking characters. But the Little Mermaid, though, mermaids that were manatees, which weren't even people to fucking begin with, changing their race is a fucking problem. I don't see how. But there's an argument that I've seen where someone was like, well, wouldn't you guys, want an original character? Wouldn't that be better for you? No, because we like this. This is our opinion. This is what makes us happy. This is the representation that we want. But even then, they picked Haley because of her voice, not because of her skin. If it was a white actress, if it was an Asian actress, if it was a Hispanic actress, if it was any other race that you could possibly think of, any skin, complexion, or color, they would have picked them for their voice because they're not looking at this white fish woman and going, she needs to be white. There was a person in this one post that commented when I said that it's an adaptation. Things are going to change. You gotta change things for an adaptation. It's not going to be one by one, like I said earlier. They told me that they grew up with the original story, and their parents grew up with the original story, and their grandparents did. The original story where she had her feet bound together and her tongue cut out? Yeah, that one, the book. They grew up with that, and saying that the world isn't all rainbows and sprinkles. And yeah, it's not. In Disney, it is. Because it's a fantasy world, which we're arguing about a fantasy world. None of this fucking matters. But you know what? To entertain it, I'll respond. They have to change those things when you're giving it to a different audience. This was a book. Flip the pages, you read it, Print has different guidelines than film. Film has totally different guidelines than TV. TV has different guidelines than YouTube. Things can't work the same way, so you have to change it. And you know what? And if you do put that one, the feet bound together, the tongue cut out, if you put that one on film, guess what? You give it to an audience that can watch that because you have censorship. You have ratings for films. You know about ratings, right? So that version can exist if it's given to the right audience. So, can't have that. But the thing is, what really gets me about the Little Mermaid thing is how people want to quickly say, I'm not racist. This isn't about race for me. I don't like, she's supposed to be white. And in itself, that's racist. But you're not saying a goddamn thing about the quality of film. Yes, we haven't seen the film yet, so we don't know if it's good or not. But every single Disney live action adaptation has been, for the most part, slandered by audiences and critics. Because why do we need these remakes? I'm not telling you why again, but just know new generation, more money. But y'all not saying a goddamn thing about how these all suck. It's just straight about the fact that she's black.
There have been a lot of changes to this story over the years. Skin tone would be the least of them. That doesn't really seem like a really big deal. It's funny because the theme is give up that identity. Give up that identity of your race. Mermaids. I'm guessing that the people that are mad about this didn't really learn much from this story.
These adaptations, because guess what? It's an adaptation. Said that again. They all change something in the movie, right? Mulan, live action now. Who's missing? Mushu. That's a difference. That's an adaptation. Oh shit, Mulan's already different from the original story. Pocahontas, that's apparently getting a live action fucking remake. Are they gonna put the rape in it? You know, the thing that wasn't in the Disney film? And this is the one that's problematic. Do you think they're gonna put the rape in it? Because for children, and they want money, you can still watch the original, right? You know that, right? It doesn't change the fact that your version is still around. You're pissy that someone's ruining your childhood when it's not your childhood anymore and it can't be ruined because it already happened. This is for someone else's childhood, for them to grow up, see themselves on the screen and think, oh my God, one day that can be me. It's like me. You want to see yourself on TV, on YouTube, anything. You want to see yourself. And I don't understand why it's so hard. Well, I understand because the bulk of you that are upset are of the fairer skin. But I don't understand why so many Caucasian men are upset about a fucking mermaid being black. I don't understand why so many white men, and it's not just white men, because some brothers out there upset about fucking She-Hulk. But I don't understand why white men are upset about female-led shows and movies, because y'all were upset about Captain Marvel 2. Don't think we forgot, with female-led characters in the MCU. You don't have to fucking watch it. You don't have to go see it, because at the end of the day, it may not be for you. I'm glad that they decided to switch up Ariel, because every Ariel I know is black. You know why? Because we need more people of color as Disney princesses. We have this version that is now black, because before, and then some people have said, and I am pissed that people have been saying this, wasn't Tiana enough? No. We have other stories. Other cultures have stories you can make, into movies. You don't just need, like Nordic and other basic white shit. Not trying to be racist, but y'all know what I mean. But that's enough for this. It's not for us at the end of the day, but even then, none of this fucking matters. I'm arguing with my phone and a microphone about people on the internet having an opinion. None of this fucking matters. There's real issues. Like, apparently I'm not black enough to have this fucking video.
Cause this is my house. They act up cause Brody, I'm different on top of my game 100. I think she's round. Oh, is it? I wish I could.
She's a black girl.
She's black! She's black! Yes! She's black! Mama, she's black! What?